Smart Show. Welcome to the Smart Show. Welcome to the Smart Show. Welcome to the Smart Show. We are pieces, not in pieces. We are pieces, not in pieces. We are pieces, not in pieces. Be at peace and not in pieces. Welcome to the Smart Show. Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you all for stopping by tonight. You're listening to the Smart Show by yours truly, Pastor Nate. And I pray that you all are blessed tonight. You could have stopped by and you could have gone somewhere else, but you decided to stop by. Make sure I can hear myself. Good. Don't want any audio issues. Thank you for stopping by tonight. I know a lot of people are going live during this hour. I was like, gosh, everybody's live. But anyways, this is my time. I've come live at 8 o'clock every Tuesday since the inception of this channel. So we're just going to continue to do this here. But thank you all for coming, cuz. God bless you down there. Bright Star Zilts, I see you. Wow. Thank you all for stopping by, and others in the bushes. Feel free to drop down. Quiet Storm's supposed to come by tonight. Let me go ahead and text. She said she wanted to join in on the conversation. So we'll go ahead and text her. And if she can come, that's fine. If not, we're going to go ahead on with it. But yeah, tonight we're going to talk about hospitality 101. That is missing in our community. Not only in our community, but it's missing in the world. We're going to talk about hospitality and why it's so important. It's a deal breaker or a deal maker. Yes, we're going to talk about the beef sector YouTubes and moderators. We're going to talk about church ushers and those of you who own homes. We're going to see if you've been showing hospitality. It's in the Bible. It's a critical part in scripture. Jesus, when he came, he showed hospitality, and we'll see that hospitality is not for people who own homes, but it's for people who actually have the capabilities or the ability or the capacity to reach out to others. We're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to see what that looks like. And we'll go ahead and get started. It is a little after 8 o'clock right now. You know, I don't like to keep you long because I like to respect your time. Now, let's go ahead and just lay down a foundation of what hospitality is. Hospitality is the friendly and generous reception and entertainment of guests, visitors, or strangers. Hospitality is a Christian practice that extends all the way back to the book of Genesis. Friend, it just didn't stop there. It just didn't start here. When you go to your hotels, when you're traveling and you see good hospitality, no. We adopted that model from the beginning. It all started from the beginning. Zilts and Bright Star, we went over that when we went through the book of Genesis. Genesis 18:2, Abraham looked up and saw three men standing there. Those angels, y'all remember that? During our study we had a few weeks back, he saw three men standing nearby. And when he saw them, he hurried from the entrance of his tent to meet them and bowed low to the ground. When he saw these strangers, these men standing there, Abraham rushed over there to greet them and to accommodate them. That's hospitality. We don't see that nowadays. When we come, it seems like people aren't that happy to see us like that. Looks like a lot of people don't want to be bothered nowadays. But Abraham was very excited when he saw these strangers. And that went way back. And I won't go into it any further because that's not what the study is about. But he showed those folks some great hospitality. Although in contemporary Western culture, people use the term to mean catering a meal or putting on a party. Hospitality means far much more than that Christian practice. Hospitality is the offer to extend the privileges, yeah, of the community to those who do not have the standing to expect it, especially those who are vulnerable because they are strangers. So really, if you're showing hospitality like God wants you to show it, or like the Bible says show it, he wants you to treat the underdog just like you would your friend. Oh, y'all don't like me already. So we don't pick and choose. We have to treat the underprivileged, as I just read, or the vulnerable, just like you would do a family member. You can't show partiality to somebody that you think is less than, or somebody who doesn't have money or status or fame. That's how the world treats people. The world system is not the way God wants us to treat each other. That's not showing hospitality. But when you can treat everybody the same, when you can greet everybody the same, when you can respect everyone the same, yes, that's what hospitality is. My God, here's an example, Luke 14:13. But when you give a banquet, and I know a lot of churches do this here, because you can see them all on YouTube, and when they post their flyers, they'll say, well, we're having a banquet on this such and date, and the price is $200. Well, if you have an underprivileged person or a poor person who wants to join the banquet, they're not able to do that because they don't have the money. Well, according to scripture, Luke 14:13 says, but when you give a banquet, or a party or reception or whatever it is, I know certain versions use different terminology, but whenever you do a gathering or a feast, okay, it says invite the poor. See, that's where the church went wrong, because they're not going to invite the poor. Normally, banquets are a prestigious event where everybody dresses up, everybody looks their best. Typically, people probably have a little change in their pocket because they have to pay for the event typically. So the poor doesn't have a chance to these types of events. We don't show hospitality to the poor like God wants us to. Luke 14:13 says, when you have a banquet, it says, invite the poor, the crippled, and the lame, and the blind. Oh, they don't like this kind of teaching. See, we don't want to invite them kind of people because they won't make our banquet look good. Because we go in there days before and we plan and we decorate the place and we make sure we clean it up, and we got color schemes going on, and we got nice tablecloths and nice flowers on the table, and we tell people, hey, this is the color scheme. When you come, we are wearing red and white. Where when you invite the lame, the crippled, and poor, they're not going to have those colors. They're not going to be dressed up. So what you going to do? You going to exclude them? You see how far we are with this here? Our behavior, the Western culture, the Western civilization is so different than the word of God. There's a big gap there, but y'all know Pastor Nate comes to tell the truth. Look, when you throw an event, a banquet, we're supposed to invite the poor. Exactly. So what that means, they enter in free, right? Because poor indicates they're not going to have any money. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hebrews 13:2 says, be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unaware. Abraham and Lot, I just mentioned Abraham, how he entertained those angels. Now, I don't know if he was aware or not. I believe he was aware of the way he treated them, because he just like went overboard and treating them with great hospitality. Lot also did too. But there are many cases when you see a stranger, or God may send somebody to you, you don't even know they're a stranger. That's why it's essential to treat everybody with respect. That's why it's so important to treat everybody with the utmost respect, because you never know, that person that you think doesn't look the part that comes your way, that may be the person that God sends to change your life forever. Ooh, I'll go ahead and clap. See, everybody's not going to come to you with a three-piece suit on. All the millionaires aren't going to come to you with the tie on and clean cut. God might send somebody that you think can't help you get to your destiny because they don't look the part. But that'll be the very same person that'll get you from where you are now to where you've been seeking to go for the last 20 years. Can I get a witness? So it's so important. And many of you've had stories where you were driving in the car and you look back. This guy came up to the car and you look back. You didn't see him anymore. You're in the grocery store and a stranger out of nowhere stopped and told you something that was true. And you looked around or to ask the person a question or to say thank you. And the person was nowhere to be found. We hear those stories all the time. I do believe we have angels in the earth walking around. We have messengers. So we got to be aware how we show hospitality. Ooh, God bless you, NY Polo. Thank you for joining tonight. Those of you who are coming in, we're talking about it tonight. Yeah, we're talking about hospitality and how to treat others. And besides, in the last day, I don't want to stand before God and he throws it up in my face again. He say, that lady that came to you, that man that came to you, you discounted them. You disregarded them. You didn't show them hospitality. You didn't extend the helping hand. See, this is what this Christian life is all about. We can talk it with our mouth all we want to, but are you actually showing action? Are you treating the poor right? Come on, somebody. So in the last day, I don't want to be held guilty when I stand before the judgment seat of Christ, because everybody got to stand before the judgment seat of Christ one day. And he's going to pay every man according to what his works shall be. So when that day comes, I don't want to be found guilty of not treating God's people like I should have, or like his word told me to. And as I stated, hospitality spans beyond just inviting others in your private space and just fixing them a meal. It goes way beyond that. And we're going to go through some examples. Right? Good hospitality is paramount in every industry, whether it's customer service. You got to have good hospitality there. That's all it is good customer service. I'm accommodating my customer. I'm taking every measure possible in order to satisfy the customer. Some instances, you're still not going to satisfy the customer. But long as you do what you're supposed to do, then you okay. So it's in customer service. It's in the fast food restaurant. When you go to that fast food, when you go through the drive through, you don't want them to just throw you your food. You want them to give you your food with a smile, right? Some of y'all had experiences where they just threw the lettuce on there, threw the tomatoes on there. When you open up your sandwich, it was all mess and stuff running. That's not good hospitality. That's not good customer service. Woo, woo. Oh, boy. Yes. So it's an area. In our churches, when we go to church, how we are being greeted. I talked about that in my intro. Some of you probably didn't go right to that church you visited because they didn't show good hospitality. The ushers at the door, they were mean. They didn't smile. And they just, they act like they didn't want to be bothered. Like, why are they ushers? Like I say, that's a deal maker. That's a deal breaker. We need good anointed ushers and hospitality people at the door to greet you. So when you come through those doors, you will feel the presence of God. You'll feel the love in that house, and you would want to come back to that church. And some of you say, yeah, I want to come back to that church because they made me feel good. The ushers, they were great. They showed me where the bathroom, and when I visit 2 or 3 days later, they called me and checked up on me and they followed up. That's good hospitality. Oh, y'all ain't gonna talk to me tonight. Oh boy, that's part of evangelism too. Oh boy, Bright Star say, tell it, Pastor Nate. I see you. We talking about good hospitality. We're gonna get to some scenarios in a minute. All right. Now, hospitality is not effective when you got a bad attitude. Let's talk about the customer service. Let's say somebody's at the drive-through or somebody's working the cashier. I'm just using that, just a simple example. And they don't feel like being there that day. I'd rather for them to stay home because you're just going to make the company look bad. And I go up and they act like they don't want to take your order, and they don't look at you in the eye, and they just kind of give you a receipt and take your order and, man, what you need. They real direct and quick. Okay, what else? What else you need? Is that all? What you want to drink? You know, that's not good customer service. They're not making you feel warm and stuff, right? It's like, I need to take my business somewhere else. So you have a lot of people who are really short. And I think this generation don't know the value of hospitality. They don't know the value of customer service. I don't know about you, but I can go through my local restaurants and go to my local drive-through. What you'll see the young people working at the cash registers while you getting your credit card out your wallet, or while you getting your money out. What they're doing this right here. Through the drive-through, while you get your money out, they're on that phone. Is that good hospitality? Oh my God, my God. I'm telling y'all, we gotta we've moved away from it. That's not showing good hospitality. Yes, I serve you, but did you do it with a good attitude? Did you do it with a smile? Did you make your environment welcoming? Yeah, doing your job is one thing, but how did you do it? And the scripture tells us how to do that. 1 Peter 4:9, it says, use hospitality one to another without grudging. That means I'm supposed to do it with a great attitude, without complaining, without looking mean, without acting like I don't want to be there. Oh my goodness. Yes. I'm glad I'm not their manager, because I believe in good customer service. I believe in good hospitality, because we got to realize the customers are the one that's keeping your business running. So you definitely want to make them happy. If I don't come through that drive-through, you won't have a company. Well, not me personally, right? But people in general. If they don't come through that drive-through, then you don't have a company, because you're operating on our dollars. So it's important to show good customer service. In our churches, if I don't show good hospitality, your church may fold and go under, because it's the people who come in. Y'all don't want to be real tonight. Come on now. It's the people who come in and give their donations. It's the people who come in and give their tithes and their offerings and their money. So you definitely want to make them welcome. In fact, if I make you welcome, if I make you feel good, if I make you want to come back to my church, you'll be glad to give. See, I'm trying to teach them a strategy tonight, but they don't want to listen to Pastor Nate. Nobody wants to listen to me tonight. I'm trying to help us. Yes, please like the video and share. Yes. Now, I'm going to show you a couple clips of some poor hospitality, and it's going to create some conversation, and I want y'all to let me know your thoughts in the chat. So here we go. Let's go ahead and talk about this here. We're going to talk about with poor hospitality first. We're going to make comments and talk about this.
To return these, but nobody seems to be answering the phone.
Have you tried emailing us?
Yes, I have emailed.
Okay, well, that's all you can do. You have to email it through, and someone will get back to you when they can.
And what would be the time frame that they're meant to get back to you? Well, it's up to them. That's
not in my department. I can't help you. You need to do it online.
So is there someone that you might be able to ask that would be able to assist?
Can't help you. It's all done online within our online team. I don't know what more you want me to do.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thanks. Do you have any chicken noodle soup?
Yes, we do.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, I will have the chicken noodle soup and an egg salad sandwich, please.
Anything to drink?
I'll have a coffee.
I'll have some too.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes?
Could we get some water as well, please?
Water? No problem.
Oh my goodness. What y'all think about that? Let's see what you said. She begging. Don't cuss him out, Quiet Storm. Don't cuss him out. How would y'all respond to that? Come on, y'all, let me know. The first clip of the person who was trying to take a package back and was trying to get in touch with someone, and she was at the desk talking to the woman at the desk. How would you respond to that? Because y'all know, even though they might have a bad attitude, looks like the service I get at Walworth sometime, just because they have a bad attitude, we still got a responsibility to be a Christian, right? Zill says, look like the service I get at Wawa. You get that service all the time? My brother, you ought to complain or write somebody. So yeah, let's talk about the first clip. This lady was at the desk, right? And you saw how the customer service person was basically just like, we can't do that. And they told us, in my profession, like I say, this new generation got so much to learn. They told us not to ever use the word can't. Why would you sit there? Well, ma'am, I can't do it. And even if you can't do it, you act like you don't want to do it. And the poor lady was just asking, what can I do? Can I talk to someone else? I tried to contact the other somebody online, and she's like, no, I can't. We can't do that. Get up and try, ma'am. We're not able to do this, but let me see what I can do. That's what good customer service is. Yes, you might not can do that according to policy, but give them some workaround. Refer her to someone else or get somebody who else can help her. That woman failed at showing hospitality. Hey, Miss Vivian, good to see you tonight. She failed at showing hospitality. And many of our businesses are like that today. How would you guys respond to that? If you were treated like that, would you call corporate? Would you write? Would you ask for a manager? Or would you be mean back to her? Would you cuss her out, as somebody said? I wouldn't cuss her out. Zil says it's above my pay grade. Okay. You would say it's above my pay grade. Well, yeah, I would say something like that. But when you say that, I would say it very diplomatically, because you got to realize, even if you can't do something, we still got to show customer service. Well, ma'am, I'm not able to do that at my level or whatever. Let me get somebody who might can help you. But that lady who sat there, she didn't even try. She was just making excuses as to why she can't do it. Get up and make an effort. I can appreciate it if you can't do it, and I see you making an effort. We got a lot of lazy people who just want the paycheck nowadays. Let's see what Bright Star says. I want to know your thoughts. How would y'all handle that first clip? I would need to take 20 deep breaths so I won't go. Come on, Bright Star. You're not going to snatch her up from behind that counter, are you? Well, you know what? I like that. You say you're going to take 20 steps. If you have to turn around and count to 10 or walk away, do that. But y'all don't cuss out. Don't hit her. Don't snatch her up. Even though that was poor customer service, and you would think she would deserve for somebody to put their hands on her, but no, it ain't worth it. We don't want to go to jail, right? We just go to somebody else next time. But that was poor customer service. Now, that other clip, we had the two people in the restaurant, the man and the woman, and you saw how the waiter treated them. She came up and she just kind of threw the when she started off bad. She started off with a nasty attitude. She just kind of threw the menus down. Y'all saw that? So if you're at a restaurant and a waiter or a waitress comes by and just throws the menus down, how would you react to that? Would you get up and leave? Would you call the manager? Or would you deal with them on your own? We talking about showing hospitality tonight. Boy. So you saw that they were in the restaurant, and then the lady who was the customer asked for some water, and you saw that look. You saw that look she gave them. She was like, "You got the nerve to ask me for some water after all I went through?" My God. I don't know about you, but she wouldn't have gotten a tip from me that day. Keatra, God bless you. Thank you for coming in. Bench Thinker, those of you who are coming into the Smart Show, we're talking about hospitality. Yes, yes. Let me show you that video again for those who are just coming in. Zilts say, I run away. Would you run away and not pay for the food, Zilts? Let's check it out again for the people who are just coming in.
To return these, but nobody seems to be answering the phone.
Have you tried emailing us?
Yes, I have emailed.
Okay, well, that's all you can do. You have to email it through, and someone will get back to you when they can.
And what would be the time frame?
Well, it's up to them. That's not in my department. I can't help you. You need to do it online.
So is there someone that you might be able to ask that would be able to assist?
Can't help you. It's all done online within our online team. I don't know what more you want me to do.
There you go. Thank you.
Thanks. Do you have any chicken noodle soup?
Yes, we do.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, I will have the chicken noodle soup and an egg salad sandwich, please.
Anything to drink?
I'll have a coffee.
I'll have some too.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes?
Could we get some water as well, please?
Water? No problem.
Oh, terrible, y'all. And I think that's the service we get nowadays, according to some of you in the chat. Some people never learn how to give customer service, but this is also reflective of the manager and what the on-duty manager. That's a good point, cuz yes, sometimes it's our manager, right? It's our manager. And sometimes people will do that when the manager is not looking. But that was poor customer service. Poor customer service. And I know she might not be happy because she's waiting. But a lot of people do that job. I mean, if you're gonna do it with gladness, do it with cheer. I mean, you can make a lot of tips waiting in the restaurant because I love the tip. I am a tipper. I will tip you if you give me superb services, if you show some great hospitality. I'm asking you questions about the menu and you're making suggestions if I've never been there before. That's great hospitality. You keep my drink filled. Oh my God. I ask you where the bathroom is and you show me where that is. You come by every now and then, and that's what I need. That's great customer service. And I will tip you to the uttermost when you provide that service. Sometimes they come by so much, they show so much great hospitality. It's kind of ironic. Sometimes they come by like every 5 minutes. Have you ever been in the restaurant? You're in a deep conversation with your friend at the table, and they coming by like every 5 to 7 minutes. Do you need anything else? Need any more refills? And you be like, I'm fine, I'm good. Like, go away. It's like you're trying to have a conversation. They're coming by every 5 minutes. Well, they're providing good customer service. Let's see what you said. Me too. I tip. Bright Star say I tip. I do too, Bright Star. I do tip because I realize a lot of waiters don't make a lot of money and a lot of them depend on tips. But my thing is, if you're going to do that job, especially if you depend on tips, you should walk around and do your job with happiness and, with gladness. And you need to just change your attitude. Let's see what you say. Y'all give me some comments. Bright Star say, I have high customer service standards. Me too, Bright Star. Especially if I'm spending my money. If I'm going to spend my hard-working dollar on something, I expect superb service. I expect for you to show me some good hospitality. That's how I'm at my job. If we land that contract to that client, we're going to reach out. And, we're going to find ways to save extra money. We're going to find ways to provide some cost-saving services for them, whether they accept it or not. A lot of times they like, no, I'll go with this service because this is more dependable. But I'm like, okay, I'm just offering this to you because this is a, 10% discount or whatever. Always providing that service, always providing hospitality, so to speak. It's also following up. It's not like a one-off. Y'all remember the church situation that I mentioned earlier. The ushers inviting you in, showing you to your seat, making you feel welcome. And if you're a visitor, 3 days later or within that week, they'll give you a call. Hey, even if you're not home, they may leave a voicemail or text. We're glad that you came by to Sunday. Don't make it your last time. We're glad to have you. Just checking on you. Do you need anything from us? That's great hospitality. I don't know about you, but if somebody does that to me and I'm visiting the church, I would want to come back. Bright Star lying. Zil, she lying. Bright Star Zil say you lying. Oh boy, that's funny. If they don't like the job, don't come. Take another one. Why be so miserable? That's my thing too, Bright Star. If you don't like the job, why be there? Zil say, I'll tell the waitress to send me her cash app so she doesn't have to tip out. Well, Zil's giving you a hard time, Bright Star. Let's see what Keatra said. I don't do evil spirits on my food. Now we getting spiritual. See, I didn't want to go there, Keatra, because they always say I'm too spiritual. I biblicalize, I gospelize and theologize everything. But hey, I agree with you. I don't do evil spirits over my food. I leave if the setting isn't pleasant. That's right. Bad energy, evil spirits. You hit the nail on the head. I didn't want to go there, but hey, since she opened that door, you right. If you got a bad spirit, I don't want you serving my food anyway. If you coming with those demonic spirits you dealing with, I don't want you to serve my food because you know what? I don't know what you'll do to my food. If I tell you, hey, my steak is a little runny, can you just send this back so they can run it through again? Because, sometimes, well done and over medium rare and all this, it's different, right? At different places. And it might be a little bloody. You might say, hey, can you send this back? And If they got a bad spirit, why they taking that food back there to get cooked again? I don't know what they gonna do to it, because I've heard some horror stories about people working in these restaurants. I've heard people dropping food and putting it back, on the bun and serving it, people spitting in your food. So look, we got to be nice to the people who's serving us, even if they're not nice, because we're at their mercy. They have our food. And I'm like Keatra, if they're not that nice, I just like, oh, never mind. Just I'll go somewhere else. If you got a bad spirit, that's exactly what I would do. I wouldn't stay there and endure that. I wouldn't put myself through that. I wouldn't put the waiter or the waitress through that. She's already started out with the bad spirit. I'm just going to get up and leave. That's me, because I don't know about you. I'm a detective of them evil spirits. I could spot them a mile away. And that's not only in a restaurant setting, that's with anybody. I can read your body language. I can read your facial expression. I can read the spirit on you. And if it ain't right, Pastor Nate gonna go the other way, because we don't want no problems. I already see that spirit working. So let me go ahead and just kind of, go on to the side. Let's see what you say before we go to another. This is Crafty. I see asking for cash out. Hey, he's always got a workaround. I tell you. I say grace really loud. And there you go. Now, I like that one too. He's going to pray real loud. Maybe that'll drive that spirit out. He'll say grace really loud. That's a good one too, Zil. That's something I would do. I would pray. In fact, if you got a bad attitude, I might just go in prayer. Father God, I just thank you right now. I pray for peace. Lord, I don't know what's going on, but I pray that you would give them peace in this place. Lord, I pray that you would just change the atmosphere. I go in warfare. I ain't going to play with them. I don't play with the spirits. Oh, boy, y'all tripping me out. Cuz say old school here. We going back to the old school. I was taught, don't go on that main job and do it, because everybody in this small town knows everybody. And I don't want that going home to my mama. Plus, you don't send food back. That's right. Especially in a small town, the word gets around. So, and you don't want that getting back. You got a reputation to uphold too. I would like the people to say, you know what? I'm going to go back to that. My favorite restaurant is Cheddar's. That's one of my favorite ones, because I like those rolls. I know it's not an upscale. Everything don't have to be upscale to be my favorite. But Cheddar's, so if y'all want to get Pastor Nate a gift card or something, get me a Cheddar's gift card. I love Cheddar's. So let's just say I work at this Cheddar's here in Arlington. Y'all know I'm in the DFW area. There's one in Dallas. There's one in Fort Worth. And I live in Fort Worth. But Fort Worth is there's one let's say 5 miles down the road. And the one in Arlington is 12 miles. Well, if the one in Arlington, if I went there before and they showed me good customer service, they called me by my name, they greeted me, sir, we got to wait. Is that okay? The wait's going to be about 12 minutes. Is that okay? Okay. And I'm waiting. They come back. Are you okay? About 5 more minutes. They come in and check in back. Great customer service. And it's around 12, 15 minutes. If it's going to be longer than that, they may say it's going to be 3 more minutes. But the thing is, they're communicating with me. They let me know, right? So that right there lets me know, okay, I need to be here. So I go there, they give me superb services. And let's just say in 2 weeks, I want to go back to Cheddar's again. And somebody say, well, Nate, why are you going all the way to Arlington? There's one right down the road from your house. Well, I don't know about this one down the road. I know the one in Arlington, they provided superb services. So I'm going back to that one. Yes, I'm going back there. So what am I saying? Sometimes when people show good customer service, sometimes when people show good hospitality, you'll drive 15 miles out the way to go and get that service. Sometimes you'll spend the extra $5 to go get supreme service. So customer service is key. Let's see what you're saying here. I never heard of Cheddar's. Yes, that's down here, Cheddar's. I love Cheddar's. Let's see here. Never send food back unless it's cold. It's coming back with some. Hey, especially if they're having a bad day, Zilts. Pastor Nate's like bougie burgers. Just long as it's not bleeding, Zills. I like them well done, though. Juicy. I don't think we have them on the East Coast. Yeah, I think it's a regional thing. A lot of these restaurants and fast foods are regional, because a lot of people don't have Bojangles chicken. And I know that's in the Southeast. When I was in Tennessee, I ate at Bojangles. Y'all know I love chicken. But we don't have them here in Texas. Mental note, create a bougie burger restaurant. Hey, that might be a thing. Junior restaurant on Flatbush in Brooklyn. Never heard of Juniors. Yes, never heard of Juniors. We don't have that down in this area. Quiet Storm say right. I drive 11 miles out the way to get this Greek restaurant. They have the juiciest lamb, right? And not only customer service, but the food is good. You like that because the product is good. You say the juiciest lamb, so you'll drive 11 miles out the way. And that's also showing good hospitality. That's also showing good customer service. Not only are you smiling and you're greeting, but the product you serving is commensurate with the environment. The environment is warming and welcoming, and the food is good. You can't beat that. Why wouldn't you want to go back? I mean, I'm going to tell my friend, hey, this restaurant is off the chain. They got great service and the food is good. I recommend you. Let's go back to that. You see what I'm saying? Word of mouth. But if the customer service was bad, the food was bad, then you just lost that business. You lost the 3 other friends I was going to bring in 2 weeks, right? So what that is, that was $150 or so, $200 that you lost because of your nasty attitude. Bright Star say no bleeding. That's right, Bright Star. I don't want you to go get me a bloody burger like you just went to a cow and cut it out and served it to me. No. We don't want to do blood. No. We have cheddars in Tampa, yes, because I think we do have them in Florida. But I love cheddars. In fact, when I come home, I might have to ask you where one is because I haven't seen one. I think one might be in Leesburg. I know we don't have one in Wildwood and Bushnell. Of course, you know we don't have it in Bushnell because it ain't nothing there. All right, let's move right along. Thank you for engaging. We got about it's 8:42, so let's move right along. Superb, exceptional hospitality. 1 Timothy 5:10. Well reported for good work. If she has brought up children, if she has lodged strangers, if she has washed the saints' feet, if she has relieved the afflicted, if she has diligent followed every good work. So she's talking about this woman here, and basically in Timothy, Paul was instructing Timothy, talking about lodging the strangers, putting the strangers up. Well, you got to realize back then, they didn't put the strangers up in hotels in many times. If you look at the Old Testament, you saw the Shunammite woman. She housed the prophet. She went up there and made a room for the prophet. They didn't put him in a hotel. The reason why they didn't put him in hotels in biblical times, because prostitution was big. And if you're a stranger, I don't want to put you in a situation where you can't get rest and peace. Oh, God, help me. I'm going to go there in a minute, y'all. So what they did was they put you up in their homes to show hospitality, and they washed your feet. Because if you went at the hotel, you had all these women and men. Y'all remember Corinthians when I talked about it. You had a lot of prostitutes. So anytime that stranger that you put up at that hotel, that man or woman, anytime they walk in and out the hotel, you got a whole bunch of prostitutes, throwing themselves on them. And the reason why the prostitutes were at the hotel, because they figured the people who stayed there had money. Because you wouldn't go to a hotel if you didn't have no money, right? So the prostitutes were very intelligent back then. Now, I don't know. We say, I want some rest. I'm tired. I don't want to be fooling no prostitute. But you got some people that probably say, you know what? Don't put me up in your house. Let me go to the hotel. I'll be fine. I have a buffet out there. I could choose anybody, But anyway, that's why they didn't put them up at the hotel in many cases. I remember when I went to China for business, we set up the China infrastructure, one of the offices that I managed virtually. And I stayed at the Nanjing, the Nanjing Hotel. I forget the name of it, but it was in Nanjing, China. It's off the tip of my tongue. But anyways, I guess prostitution is legal in some parts of China. But I went to this hotel, and me and my boss, every time we walked outside the hotel to go get something to eat or go back and forth to the office there in China, we would have these prostitutes throwing themselves on us. Oh my God, have mercy, Jesus. Yes, everybody, they were just throwing themselves, and we have to do this here, excuse me. You have to have make sure that your wallet was secure, because they would pick your pockets too in China. That was big. So I can understand when in biblical days they didn't lodge them up at the hotel, because prostitution was very prevalent. And also it says wash feet. That was showing good hospitality. When they entered in your house back then, they washed your feet. But whether you rode on a donkey, a camel, or a beast, it was very dusty. You know, they don't have roads that we have now. What prostitute says that? Zill's nasty. So when you would enter into the house, you would wash people's feet. That's where we get feet washing from. That was a form of hospitality. It would wash the dust off your feet after a long journey. So when you came in your house, that's what they would do. It was like nowadays, if we would do something like that nowadays, it would be, I guess, the equivalent of taking your jacket or your coat, putting your shoes up, or taking your coat and putting it up, showing you hospitality. Yes. You know, back in the day, y'all, I'm from the country. We showed some great hospitality. Y'all know, cuz you probably know, my grandmother, she's gone on now, but she cooked. And after we ate, whoever wanted to come in, she was like, Miss Mercedes, you got some more neck bone and rise left? Y'all know I'm country. I love neck bone and rise. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing in this chat. Anybody know about them neck bone and rise? Oh, neck bones and rise. Ooh. But anyway, they would come and say, Miss Mercedes, you got some more of them neck bone and rice and them great northern beans and some more cornbread. And she would say, child, just go on in there in the kitchen. You know your way in there. Go in there and fix your plate. That's the era I came from. When they didn't fix it for you, they say, you go on in there. But nowadays, we can't do that, right? We can't let everybody have access to our house, especially those of you who live in the cities. And if you live in the city, you might not have experienced anything like that. But yeah, we let them come on in and get something to eat. And so I would wake up in the morning. Sometimes I see somebody in the kitchen. I say, oh, that's such and such. We know him. Or we would leave the house and we would come back, because a lot of times we left our doors unlocked. And then somebody be in the house sitting there watching TV, or somebody be on the couch taking a nap. You know, somebody from the neighborhood. That's the hospitality that we showed. But you can't do that nowadays. We live in a terrible time where we can't get away with that. Yeah, let me see what you're saying about that. Imagine someone taking off their ballot flats and waiting for you to wash this. Thank you. Ooh, look, yes, we got some jacked up feet nowadays, but you know what? If you represent the Lord, you just have to wash those nasty feet. You wash those ugly feet. That's being a servant. That's showing good hospitality, right? Amen. Because yes, I remember that. Yes, I know you remember that. Because yes, mental note: sample Pastor Nate singing neck bone. Yeah, I like neck bones. Yeah, I love neck bones. Really can't give everyone access. No, we can't do that now. So the things that we did back then to show hospitality, we have to do a little different nowadays. I know in my home over the last 20 years, people can tell you, I let people in my home. I let families in my home. People who was homeless. We would minister at Salvation Army. I did shelter work while I was in high school. And there were many times at the shelter, these young women would come in with like newborn babies. And, you know, with the shelters, you only can come during the daytime. At 8 o'clock in the morning, we would lock the shelter. And I was in school, so I worked the night shift there. And at 8, I would lock up the shelter. And they could come back at 4 o'clock when somebody else was on duty. But there were a couple of instances where we had single women with children. Some of them with newborn babies in the shelter. And y'all know in Tennessee, it snows in the wintertime and in the cold. You may have heard me tell the story before. And when I locked that shelter at 8 o'clock, I could not leave those women with those children outside. Y'all know, and I was saved then. I was a Christian in the past. I was a minister at that time. So I just could not do it. And my boss, he told me, say, we cannot allow people to come to your houses. But I just had to override that. I had to let that woman at my house. And I didn't even know this woman and her baby, but she had a 2-month-old baby and a little girl. And I had to go to school. So I dropped them off at my apartment to one place. Didn't even know the people. And I went to school. I'm like, Lord, please don't let them run game, because she could have a man down the road say, hey, y'all, come on in here. Let's rob him or whatever. But God gave me grace. That didn't happen. I just couldn't leave those children outside with that single woman. So I brought them in my house. And of course, everything was okay. But we cannot do that nowadays. Nowadays, you might have to take them to another shelter, the police station, or the hospital. But I just couldn't leave. I didn't feel right leaving them outside. And my boss, he knew I had a heart. So he didn't reprimand me or nothing, right? Because he knew my stance on that. He knew I was a Christian. So he didn't make a big deal out of it. He knew what I was doing. He just said, just be careful. I'm like, Dwight, I just couldn't do that. This woman it was 25 degrees outside. It was snowing. I couldn't do it. because I know the value of hospitality. Oh boy, Def gonna sample that and use right. Don't That's right. It didn't feel right, Quiet Storm. I had to go take the extra step. Right. Make it turkey neck bones, no pork neck. Turkey neck bones good too. Yes, a little healthier. Right. Well, I do eat a little healthier now. Yes, even though I'm a little plump a little bit, but I do eat a little healthy. I still could improve. Yes, I still could improve. Y'all, we're going to look at one more scenario. I know we're going over our time. We're having fun. Those of you, if you have to leave, I do understand, because I know you used to me going 45 minutes or an hour. But I want to show you another clip. We're talking about hospitality. Now we're going to bring this to the YouTube street. So y'all share this video. Those folks out there, your favorite content creators, your subscribers, and your moderators, tell them to come on in this part. This last 10 minutes, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about moderating and how you should welcome somebody in your chat. So y'all, give me another minute. Let me pull up this video. Tell them to come on in. They need to see this here. I'm going to read the scripture to set it up. Acts 28:2. And the barbarous people, or the pagan, or the heathen, or the crazy, the stranger, showed us little or no kindness, means much kindness. For they kindle a fire and received us. That's what Paul said. You know, Paul was an apostle, so he went to different places. And he said, these people showed us much kindness. They lit a fire for us so we could be warm, right? They fed us. They brought us out of the rain. Come on, somebody. My good. They brought us out of the cold. Woo. That's what Paul was saying. So I'm going to show you, I showed you two clips of bad hospitality, of bad customer service. So y'all get these moderators in here if you know them, because they need to see this. Now I'm going to show you what great hospitality and great customer service looks like, and we'll be finished with this live. All right, so here we go.
Once the parishioners arrive at church, they are greeted by a usher at the door with a smile, welcome them to the Hemingway Church. It is important to have a certain personality or a demeanor that will be inviting to that parishioner or guest.
A moderator facilitates the streamer's stream. A moderator is also very pro for the streamer. A moderator says hello to everybody. A moderator also acknowledges people in the streams that are viewers just like you. A moderator also answers any questions for the streamer as best as they can.
Ooh, okay, let's talk about the first clip first, the church clip. And I talked about that earlier, so I really don't need to talk about that too much. You saw the ushers, how they were showing great hospitality. You know, as the people were coming in, they were giving them the order of service, showing them where to sit, talking to them and greeting them. That's how church ushers should be, right? Have y'all ever experienced that in the church? Or have you gone to a church where you experienced bad service and you like, I'm not going by that church no more. Those ushers so mean, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Those ushers are nice. When we were growing up, they whooped our butts too. When the children were talking, they came behind us and popped us. And some had stores where they pinched you, where they squeezed your ear. So some of them ushers didn't play. They showed good service. But when it came down to the children, they made sure that they were ordered. That's because the parents allowed them to chastise us, right? Because it takes a village to raise a child. Of course, that was the metaphor back then. Nowadays, you touch people's children, they'll want to fight you. So ushers can't do that nowadays, right? But that was good customer service. Now, that second clip, you saw what the man was talking about when he explained what a moderator does. And the reason why I want to bring this up, because we have moderators that are trigger happy. And I thank God for Bright Star and Quiet Storm. And I don't know where Daryl is. I'm going to have to holler at him. He might be in the bushes. He's a mess. But anyways, I thank God for the three moderators. And I know Quiet Storm is great. And I know Bright Star is great. She mods for Zilts and she mods for Wiley and different ones. She's a great moderator. I know Miss Vivian Jenny was in here. She's a great moderator for Jay Wilson. Let's see here. Sound like a job. Let me see what you said, Zip. What's the salary? Yeah, he always talking about making money. I hear you. Why does he have to pronounce it so hard? Moderator. That part, they get to serve Pastor Water first usher. They don't play. That's right. Now, well, yeah, he did emphasize moderator quite some. I don't know why he did it so hard. But anyways, he was telling you what a moderator does, how they answer questions in the chat, and how they welcome everyone, what you guys are doing, and how they make people feel warm and welcome in the chat. Now, I do experience that when I go to different chats. Normally, when I go to some places, they'll say, "How you doing, Pastor Nate?" Or they'll say, "How you doing, the Smart Show?" If they don't know me as the Smart Show, a lot of them know me as Pastor Nate. When I drop in, they'll say, "Hey, Pastor Nate." And sometimes I go up in these chats when it's real dark sometimes and there's a low spirit. I go in there to try to change the atmosphere. I'm not saying I'm all that, but I go in there and do stuff like this. God bless you. Just stopping through to say hi. Y'all have a blessed day. Be encouraged. I'll do something like that. I'll drop that on them because they're not doing all that cussing and fussing and complaining about this and that and the third. And I go in there and say, you know what? They're struggling right now. Let me go and give them a kind word. Just stopping through to say hi. How you doing, Pastor Nate? Then I say, well, God bless y'all. You have a blessed day. Right? Be encouraged. So that's what moderators are supposed to do. They're supposed to welcome you in the chat. And some of you have had experiences where you had moderators, if you asked a question or if you challenged the content creator, they would want to block you. Like, why do you want to do that? We're having a conversation. I'm not being nasty. And I think a lot of times they don't understand your spirit. They don't understand who you are. So in many cases, when you ask them a question, and if they don't know you really, then they'll want to block you or time you out. Well, I'm just having a conversation. I just want to know. I needed something cleared up. I'm not trying to be funny. I don't go and ask questions a lot of time. Now, if I know the content creator, I get a little freer and I'll ask questions and say this and that and the third because they know my spirit. Like if I go in Jay Wilson's chat, he knows me. I went to his house and everything. So he knows my spirit. So he knows what I'm talking about. He know I'm not trying to be funny, right? And those of you who know me, right? Quiet Storm say block. Let's see what you say. My moms have one task, bill them before I do. Right. If they disrespect the content creator, of course, yes. That's so nice of you, Pastor Nate. Give them the curveball. Right. I try to do that. Try to shed some light. It might not work all the time, depending on the nature of the chat. But I do go and try to drop a kind word because that's who I am. And I have to be who I am all the time. The way I am on my channel here is the way I am in the content creator. I'm not going to deny Christ. I drop something. I'm not going to try to get too preaching people's chat because I don't want to change their content. I don't want to distract them, but I will just drop a little bit. You just try to encourage them because that's just who I am. Yeah. So we got people who will really block you if you ask a question or if you challenge. I believe that you can have an opposing view respectfully. But if they don't know the angle you're coming from, if they think you're being smart, they'll time you out and block it. You hear a lot of people say, I went that chat and she blocked me. I didn't do nothing. And you go on there on the troll page, can you unblock me? And they'll say, send me an email or whatever. We haven't had a situation where we had to block over here. For the most part, our chat is fun. Our chat is godly. We don't have a lot of foolishness over here. So we really don't have to do that. But we have our moderators in place, so when we do grow, or if a demon decides to come from hell and come up in here and start talking noise and crazy, we can go ahead and bust him and send him back to the pit of hell. Woo! But other than that, we'll time them out first or whatever. But we hadn't had to deal with that. But I know some people are trigger happy and they don't know their mods. And I think a lot of times the content creators and the mods, they don't have a conversation. They just mod people up and don't talk about expectations. Y'all know when I did that, I sent you an email saying, this is all I need from you. And I ask you, what do you need from me? Right? Because it's not only you're serving me, but I need to serve you too, because you helping me out. You helping promote my channel. Right? So it goes two ways. Let's see what you're saying. Sound like drop mic and leave, Pastor Nate. Yeah, I'll come through there and drop it in a minute. Yeah, oh yeah, I repeatedly time them out until they leave. Okay, so you don't blog, you just time them out. Yeah, leave the foolishness at the door, right? And you don't have to agree with me. The stuff that I'm talking about, you could come and say, I don't agree, that's fine. I mean, that's not a reason for you to get blocked. If you don't agree, you don't agree. But, if you don't agree, I like to have a conversation. Give me some scripture basis. Give me what you base it on. If you say, Pastor Nate, what you're saying is not right, Because according to Revelation, did not come on now. We can talk then because you give me some word. My God, have mercy. But if you just say I don't agree with no substance, I mean, I ain't gonna get mad and block you and time you out. But you know, you're really not, you don't have no substance, so you're not really having an intelligent conversation. Come with some facts, come with some basis. Yes, let's see what you say. I'll leave the fools at the door. That's right. Ban them and charge them a fee to come back. A lot of people do that. A lot of people, when they block you, some content creators say, send me an email, or they'll go and find you and unblock it. Some content creators say, you got to pay me $10 or $20 or whatever to come back. I've even heard it. Some people saying you had to pay $200. Well, I'll just create me another page or whatever. If I have to, I'll watch from the bushes. I don't even need to be seen in a chat. Right. So do we have any questions tonight? Any questions or comments? We were talking about hospitality. $800. Good Lord, have mercy. I better not ever make you mad. Woo, woo. Jesus, that's an expensive re-entry fee. My God in Zion. I ain't going to touch that one. Anyways, do we have any questions or comments? I want to thank everyone for coming in tonight. It is at the 9 o'clock hour. Quiet Storm, we didn't get you to come up tonight. I didn't know if you were going to come in or not. I know I talked to you earlier, but I guess we could do it next time. I don't know what the topic is going to be next week, but I'm sure it will be something. Okay, what is it, Mr. Zill? You have a question. If you have any questions before I leave, go ahead and type it in the chat. If you have any comments, go ahead and type it in the chat. I'll stay on a few more minutes. Y'all know Pastor Nate like to go an hour, no longer than an hour and 10 minutes. Okay. Depending on how we're going. Thank you again for coming in tonight. Don't call me out like that. I be busy. I know. I understand. I know. Let's see. Does the Samaritan story fall in this topic? Yes, Zills. You meant the Good Samaritan story, when the man fell among thieves and they robbed him and he was on the ground and the Good Samaritan came through. Exactly. That falls into hospitality too, because what happened? The priest even went by and he didn't stop. So that lets you know sometimes the church ain't gonna help you. Oh, Zills, don't open up that conversation. This might be another one. But to quickly comment on what you said, yes, because we had Good Samaritans to stop and put that man in the hotel, and they even paid the bill. So that is a form of hospitality. Yes. We might have to do a part 2, because I mean that's a good question. If y'all want to do a part 2, let me know. We can go further, because there are some other instances in the Bible that talks about hospitality. And it's to show us, so people, we think we're showing hospitality, we think we're showing good service. We're a long ways off, because not only do we need to do it in the church setting, I think God holds us responsible for our positions on our job, for our homes. And whenever we meet people, it is our Christian duty to show good service, being a servant. That's all it is. The Bible speaks about serving. If we would do a part 2, we would talk about servanthood, like the washing of the feet, maybe not physically washing feet, but being a servant. What can I do to help you? Do you need help today? Calling you. Do you need anything? Just calling and checking on you. That's good service to one another. Yes. Thank you. Like and share and subscribe. Yes, please. Those of you, if you're not subscribed to the channel, and if you like what you're hearing, please subscribe. We come live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And y'all check out those morning nuggets. Check out those morning nuggets every morning. Have a great night, Bench Thinker. Thank you for stopping by. Those morning nuggets are still going full force. And every now and then I'll do my music videos to bless you. Try to change it up a little bit. But in the meantime, in between time, be at peace and not in pieces. Till next time, my friend. This is where we reason together, a place where you can feel much better. If you're hungry for the word, you'll be fed, you'll be encouraged. Be at peace and not in pieces. Be